This is Tim Wilson, normally with copy OBS and built-in laptop microphone. This is another video from Nomad Funnel Hacker. So today we're going to be talking about adding products to ClickFunnels. And I'm starting out in ClickFunnels Classic for a reason, and that reason being that it will be a good illustration of how things are approved in the current version of ClickFunnels, formerly known as ClickFunnels 2.0. Now, ClickFunnels Classic was the original version of ClickFunnels. It is still available. It's still in use, and it's not going anywhere. But the current version of ClickFunnels offers a lot more functionality than ClickFunnels Classic going forward, just because it's where all the new cool stuff is going to show up. That said, we are looking at a funnel, which was one of my certification projects for the ClickFunnels Funnel Builder program. And it's kind of embarrassing looking at my first attempts at building funnels. But they passed certification, so it's fully functional. It's just that the design is kind of embarrassing. What we want to look at is how products work in ClickFunnels Classic. So in ClickFunnels Classic, if we create a product, like say, for example, this Bedroom Billionaire book, or we have an order bump called the 2022 Wholesaler Directory, then we were creating it only for this funnel. So for example, if we want to use this 2022 Wholesaler Directory and use it in an order bump on another funnel, we would have to go and create that product over again for the other funnel because it wasn't transferable. So we would have to literally go into this section and go to all of these steps you see on this toolbar up the top and create it all over again. So basically, we had to reinvent the wheel. Now, in the current version of ClickFunnels, things are totally different. Products are universal. So we're not creating a product within a funnel. We're creating a product within the product section. So the universal, we can take a product and apply it to any funnel we want to. So you only have to invent the product once, unless you're going to have some kind of variation or something like that. And there are capabilities built into the product function that can handle that. So we're going to create a test product today, just to go through the process. If we come to our products here, you can go to all products. You can see right now I have not added any products to this workspace. This is what you'll see the first time you go into the products. You're going to have a choice of creating a product or adding for Zendrop. Zendrop is a separate company from ClickFunnels, but ClickFunnels has an association with Zendrop where you can integrate Zendrop products into your store in ClickFunnels. But we're not going to be getting into Zendrop today. We're just going to be creating a single product. So we start off by clicking on Create Product. First, it's going to ask us for the product name. We're just going to call this Test Product 1. Because you ought to have at least one product that's just a test product that you can plug into things to make sure they work. And for description's optional, but we'll go ahead and put product for testing purposes. You also can use AI to help you with the description. Now, this description is actually going to show up on your order form. So you want to probably put a little thought into what you write in this area. We can do digital, physical, or bundled products, but we're just going to do a digital product today. Then we'll click Create Product. And then we're going to have a price. And so we're just going to put the magical price of $997 here. And it's going to be a one-time purchase on what we're doing, but you can also have subscriptions and payment plans. We'll set the price. This will bring us to our area. We see we have the product name. We have our description. Down here, we have our price. Now, we do have other options down here. So in inventory and shipping, if you're working with a physical product, you can add a SKU. You can indicate that fulfillment is required, and you indicate that it's a physical product. You can also do purchase actions and give digital access, course access, or community access. And if you have a product like a t-shirt, for example, that has multiple colors, you can give multiple options here. We have the SEO for sharing that you can edit. So you can also share through a framework, but you need to configure a framework. And then if we come here to the right side, we can add this to our online store, our customer center by clicking the switches. We can add tags. We can add the manual collections. And so we have all those options. But now we're not going to look at most of these options today, but we do want to look at our pricing section. So one thing we can do is add a price. And it'll bring up this panel. Now what we can do is I want you to look at where it says compare at amount. So if we were running a discount or something, or we had lowered our price or whatever, we'd want to have a higher price here so people know that they're getting a deal from the original price. So we can do that by clicking on add price, or we can edit the price. So just click on edit price. Brings up the same panel we just saw. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So we see that our amount is $997. We'll say that it used to be $1997. Product cost, we can add in a product cost if we want to. This is a digital product, so we're not going to do that. And we can also add a name. We can either make this visible or not visible. Most of the time you're going to want it to be visible, but maybe there are times you won't want it to be. We're going to click on save. Now you see it shows the original amount of $19.97, but now the price is $9.97. 50% discount or price reduction, however you want to look at that. Now there's only one other thing that we're going to do today, and I recommend you do this. And even if it's just a filler image, we're going to select an image. And I'm just going to go to my image library here. And we're actually going to just use this image, which is generated by the marketing AI tool inside of ClickFunnels, just to put something there. And we can add multiple images if we want to. And then we want to click on update product. We'll get a message that our product was successfully updated. Then if we go back to our products now, we see that we now have a product there instead of that opening page we saw originally when we didn't have anything. This is the reason we want to have a picture there. It's going to help you quickly identify which product is which. Now we have all these different things we can have informationally in this column. And we can adjust that by clicking on the edit. Now, if we want to go back in and edit our product, we can either click on the name or we can click on the gear icon. However, if we want to adjust the categories on this toolbar, we need to click on modify columns. And then we can check or uncheck what we don't want to show up. So for example, if we uncheck visibility, it disappears. If we check it, it appears again. Now there's no provision for adding columns here, but you can adjust the columns that are already there. And that's really it for this video. I just wanted to demonstrate creating a product in ClickFunnels. Now this product, I can attach to any funnel I want to. I'll be doing that in a video in the future, but for now, we're just going to stop right here. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It helps me and helps the channel. And we're all just rearranging deck chairs on the RMS algorithm. Other than that, my name is Tim Willis, and I will talk to you later.